Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. Today, we are going to talk about food, glorious food. I had to do that just because it just goes back to my old school roots of musical theater. So if you don't know what that's from, I'm just going to tell you that it's from, oh my gosh, what is it from? I just drew a blank. Oliver. That's what it is. So we're going to talk about food today. All the fantastic, fabulous, and wonderful food on the Virgin Voyages. So if you don't know who I am Samantha with Fabulous Adventures Travel Company. And I love Virgin. So if this is your first podcast because you love food, know that's who I am. If you're on Facebook, come hang out with us at Virgin Voyages Cruise Tips and Deals, because that is where we have a ton of information and we give out the best deals. So if you have not sailed Virgin, know that you're going to get the best deals here with Fabulous Adventures Travel Company. So with that being said, let's chat about food. So Virgin prides themselves on their food, and they very well should, honestly. Let's be honest. Like, it's the best food at sea, if you ask me. I have not had the luxury of sailing on like a Viking or a Windstar or a Silver Seas or a Seabourn, any of that. So I'm sure their food is excellent as well. But in this category, Virgin does take the award for food, honestly. So majority of my clients that come to me are avid sailors with Royal Caribbean and Celebrity and all of that sort of line there, Disney, Carnival. And I have done all of those except for Carnival. And I will tell you that Virgin 100%, not just because I love them and not because, they're my all-time favorite cruise line, they really do take the award for food. So here's why. And I will say that they spent time really curating these menus. They contacted Michelin chefs and really had them create these menus that are out of this world, completely different, things that you would never taste at sea, and just some things that will blow your mind, like, honestly, because there's so many different restaurants. And one of the restaurants that is like so cool and innovative is called Test Kitchen. And that place will blow your mind, like, because you're like, wait, what? Huh? This is crazy. So we'll talk about it here in just a sec. But the other thing that they pride themselves on is the fact that everything is very freshly made. So it's not just, I hate to use the word cafeteria style, where, they make a big vat of whatever it may be. I hate saying that because I don't think any cruise line really does that. But it does have, the cruise lines are starting to get, it feels like a little cafeteria in my opinion. The food isn't as great as it used to be. I do feel that Virgin has stepped it up a notch in the sense that that is not what it feels like. So the original concept was that they wanted it to feel like you're going out to a restaurant. So, when you're like, oh, let's go out to dinner that night, you would basically be going to the restaurant instead of a dining area. So that's another huge difference, that you're not actually going to a dining room, you're going to separate restaurants, and each restaurant has a cuisine. So it has a specific cuisine like Mexican, Italian, veggie, or vegan forward, I should say. That's what they say. Gunbae, which is Korean barbecue. So they all have specific, just like going to a restaurant, if you were going out on land, you would be like, oh, let's go to the Italian restaurant. Okay, which one? It has that same feel, right? So, a steakhouse too. So, I'm obviously not going to name them all, but it gives you an idea of how it works. So you're not going to a typical dining room where you're going to sit down, look at a menu, and there's going to be, like one of each thing, like, a steak, a fish, a pasta. It's not like that. They will have that, of course, but in the actual cuisine that you're eating in. So that will happen in the Italian. So your steak will be Italian, an Italian steak of sorts, a fish of sorts, a branzino, I think, is on the menu. So that's kind of how the restaurants work. I love it. We should probably spend a second talking about reservations, because it definitely is not like your typical dining where, there's two separate dining times and you either fit into one of those or you pick a my time dining. It's definitely not that. It's all my time dining if you want to talk in terms of, normal cruising. It's basically, like I said, we're going to go back to that whole going out at night restaurant concept. You book a dining time, a reservation time, and that is the time that you go to the restaurant. So you can book anywhere from oh gosh, does it go as early as 5, I think. I think that's the earliest. 5 all the way up to 9, 9:30, somewhere in that range. And you can book any of those times in there. So you can do 5, 5:15, every 15 minutes, I'm sure. I will say that it is harder to get a reservation with larger groups. There's not as many large tables. We have been lucky enough to sail with a bunch of large groups, and it has not been easy to get a large table. So if you're doing that on your own and not part of a circle, which again, I'm probably speaking really, really, really technical speak when you're like, what's a circle? Don't look too much into that. Just know that it is not as easy. So if you're booking dining, make sure that you're right there at that 45-day mark. So you can book dining at 45 days if you're in a non-Rockstar room. If you're in a Rockstar room, you can book dining at 60 days. So obviously, Rockstar, you have an advantage. That's one of the bonuses of being a rock star. One of my favorite things, as we all know. But at 45 days, you'll be just fine, honestly. So you might have to break your party up if it is larger, like 13 or something like that. Know that you'll probably have to break it up to kind of get the time that you want. But they'll try their best to seat you next to each other. And yeah, it should all be just fine. But just know you do have to make dining reservations. So one of the most, I guess I should say, the thing that's driving everyone crazy right now is that dining is almost like booking dining at Disney World. I'm going to compare it to that. Although I don't know that I should, because kids are involved, not kids. So I don't want to compare it to that, but it really is that. It is like that. It's like, I gotta be there at 45 days prior, and if I don't get my dining, this is gonna be the worst. So know that that does have that feeling, but try not to get that feeling, because that's not at all what Richard Branson wanted. I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, we've talked about this, that I have been at every training since they announced that they were gonna, set sail, and that was one of the things that they were very, very adamant about, was that they didn't want it to turn into this. Unfortunately, it has. So I don't want anyone else to get that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I got to get dining. But it's just what happens. Everyone does it. So know that you're not alone if you feel that way. But also know that that's not what they wanted it to be. So I have actually been pushing for something different in terms of dining, like a whole different option, so that we're not having this whole Walt Disney World, like it's 45 days, blah, freak out sort of thing. I'm hoping that, things change, because I get it. People get upset. So past the 45 days, obviously you're missing, good times. You're probably eating at 8:00. If you're okay with eating at 8:00, if you end up booking basically what I'm saying is, if you end up booking your cruise later than 40 or inside the 45 days, you're probably going to be eating at 8:00 or 8:30. If you're okay with that, then don't worry about it. No stress. But if you're not okay with that, then definitely book before 45 days out. And if you're super chill and you don't really care if you have dining and you're just going to roll up and do it the Richard Branson way, which is how he really wanted it to be, then you're even better. You can book your cruise whenever you want. But if you're super planner and you want to have your dining done, make sure you book your cruise before your 45 days or your 60-day mark in order to get the correct dining times that you would like. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, but don't stress too much. Like I said, you can get dining on board. The very first day you can walk up to dining and get some dining. They do hold that for everyone. They do hold some for everyone. And then there are some walk-ups. I will tell you, it's not the best. We did try it this last cruise. It does work. There are some restaurants, like Razzle Dazzle is actually really good to walk up and be able to walk in and not have a reservation. Test Kitchen is another one. But you'll find that the very first night, I feel like everybody goes to dining. They make their dining reservation because it's the first night and they're going to dining. And then it just goes like this. And then the restaurants get less and less as the week wears on, because you're kind of like, I think what just happens, people are tired. They had a great excursion. They're tired. They just want a piece of pizza or whatever it may be that they want. Or, they spent too long at the pool and they just don't want to go eat. They maybe ordered Chip Eats, whatever, or they're enjoying their cabin a little bit. So I just think that that's what happened. Know that the first night you're probably not getting in, but then I think that you can kind of play around a little bit, which is what we did. So we ended up at Pink Agave one night and didn't have a reservation, and we got in. So, and the place was honestly empty. But I would say it was about 7:30 that we rolled up and was like, hey, can we get in here? So don't stress. That is a big stressor. I will tell you that, but don't stress about it because you will get dining. And if not, just walk up and then beg them to let you in, or just tell them I'm not moving until until you seat me. I don't know if that works. Just try it. Let me know how it works. But anyways, let's get back to dining. The actual restaurants. So I'm going to keep looking over at my cheat sheet that you can't see over here, even though I honestly could just, recite all of this, I'm sure. But there are 20 plus eateries that are on board. Not all of them are sit-down restaurants. I like to say that there are 6 sit-down restaurants. So we're going to start with, it's The Wake, Razzle Dazzle, Pink Agave, Gunbae, Evie, Extra Virgin, but I like to affectionately call it EV, and Test Kitchen. So those are your 6 restaurants. My favorite, which I've happened to mention before, changes frequently. I think The Wake is up there now, number 1. It was Evie or Pink Agave, but honestly, I think The Wake is number 1 right now because I have had like the best steaks every single time I've gone there. So yeah, I think The Wake is it. I love the corn. I know I say it all the time, but get the corn. Get the corn. They have a corn custard at The Wake that is phenomenal. So make sure that you get that as an appetizer. So that happens to be my favorite at the moment. Check with me in 2 weeks. I'm sure it'll have changed to something else. Test Kitchen might make its way up, but honestly, it's usually at the bottom. Gunbae and Test Kitchen are at the bottom for me. And we'll talk about why in a minute here. So let's talk about that. So that's your main dining. Then you have what is not your traditional buffet, because it's not a buffet, the Galley. So the Galley has a bunch of eateries in it, so which is why they say there's 20 plus eateries. There's actually, like I said, the 6 sit-down restaurants and then the 20 plus eateries. So there's all different restaurants around the ship. So the Galley has a bunch of restaurants in it. I'm going to name them. I probably wouldn't actually be able to name them off the top of my head, so good thing for my cheat sheet. The Daily Mix, which you can get salads at. Oh my gosh, those are so good. You can make your own salad, basically. So they have all the fixings, and then you just say, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want this, and they add it, and it's great. It's so good. Diner and Dash, which is all-day breakfast as well. Diner and Dash is actually where you'll get dinner at night if you end up eating dinner at the Galley, which you can. And that's where they actually also have the cheeseburgers. The cheeseburgers are over there as well. Cheeseburger and french fries. Really good. And very good at 2 in the morning. Or was it 1? What time was it? Almost 2. Gelman's telling me. Where we had a burger and fries. Although, did I actually have the burger? Oh, I did. Oh, God. I broke with a lot of alcohol, he said. So, yeah, that's what happened there. So then Bento Baby, which is sushi, and sushi, they have sushi grab and go boxes. So you can just grab and go the sushi there and take it with you if you want. They also have, in the morning, they have fruits and stuff, which is awesome in the bento boxes. And then Let's Taco About It. Gosh, that's hard to say. Let's Taco About It. It's probably because I talk too fast. Let's taco about it. Obviously, it's a taco. So it's a bunch of tacos and Mexican there, which are really, really good as well. Hot Off the Press, which is sandwiches, and Noodle Around, which is ramen. So all of those places are phenomenal. I've eaten at the Daily Mix, Diner and Dash, not the Bento Baby because I don't do sushi. Let's Taco About It. I have eaten there. Hot Off the Press as well. And I have not had the Noodle Around, actually. Strangely enough. I don't know. I always think of ramen as like a soup, which it kind of is. And so I'm not a huge soup fan. Like, I really got to be cold to have some soup. So I'm sure it's wonderful. Everybody loves it. So I'm sure it's fantastic. So that's the Galley. Know that the Galley is only open at certain hours. It does have longer hours than everywhere else. So you can go up there at night to have breakfast. So if the pizza place is closed, you can go up there and have breakfast. And you can also have a burger, like we said, till 2 in the morning. And, oh gosh, what was also, I forgot what else I was going to say about the Galley. You know what else is there that it's not on here? Is the Sweet Shop. I don't know if that's the actual name. Is that the actual name of it? I'm going to call it that, the sweet shop. It's a dessert area, so it has all the desserts there. So I usually sneak my way up to the galley and check out what desserts or cookies they have of the day, because they do change the cookie of the day. There's definitely a different cookie every day. And while I wish they'd just keep the chocolate chip and then bring a second cookie around, that chocolate chip cookie is phenomenal. I will tell you that. And the s'mores cookie is really good. So they do have a bunch of different desserts there, as well as fruit. That is where, when I'm trying to be on my best behavior, I will go and have some fruit. But sometimes those cookies kind of get me. And also the s'mores jar. The s'mores jar really, really, really gets me. It's like this little jar, this little mason jar with a layer of graham crackers, pudding. I think it's chocolate pudding, then some other layer of pudding, and then a marshmallow fluff on top. Yeah, it's magnificent. It's wonderful. So don't miss that if you like s'mores. And then they give you this little tiny spoon, like a little baby spoon, which is lovely. It's super fun. So that's what's in the galley. I gotta go back again and say that it's not a buffet, like I said. It's all these little mini eateries. I like to call it a glorified food court, honestly. But that makes it sound really gross, honestly, and it's not at all. It's a really nice establishment. They do have waiters there. You can go up and order certain things. Like if you want to get a salad, you can definitely go up and order that salad. Or if you want to be waited on because you know what, this is your vacation and you're not going up to get your own food, which I totally understand. You can sit down and put the flag up, and over will come a waiter or waitress and grab your order for you. They will also get you alcohol there, which is very nice. I've had many a lemon drop martini there in a plastic cup though, so know that it's not fancy because they're getting it from the pool, so it will be a plastic cup, and that's never fun to drink a martini in a plastic cup. It's kind of weird. I never thought, honestly, this is totally weird and just off the subject, but I never thought that I'd be that weird person. Not weird, no one's weird, but be that person that like has to have the right cup. Listen, I'll drink alcohol, whatever cup it's in, but I'm kind of like, this is a little strange that I'm drinking this martini out of a plastic, tiny cup. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten a little bougie in my old years. That's not good. We're going to go back to the girl that just drinks it out of a solo cup and doesn't care. And I will do that, but I do have a thing where I'm like, wait, why is this in this weird plastic cup? So, yeah, that's a little crazy about me today. So that's the galley. I love it. Like I said, honestly, I don't even visit it that much. I know that's terrible. I probably should go up more, but I honestly, I'm hardly ever up there. I do eat in the main dining room every night, or not the main dining every night in one of the restaurants, mostly. And then for snacks, you can usually find me at the dock. So we'll talk about that next. So quick service, you have your options of, my personal favorite, the dock. It's in the very, very back of the ship. It's absolutely gorgeous. If it's a nice day or night or whatever, it's a great, great place to lounge and hang out. Their food is phenomenal. The shrimp, apparently I don't eat it because I'm actually highly allergic, is phenomenal from what I hear. The steak is amazing. What else? They have chicken too. They have a chicken skewer. And then my favorite are the crispy polenta and the beet hummus. So I'm going to credit somebody for this beet hummus because one time we had a meeting on board and I was starving and needed some food. And so we ended up at the dock and he was like, I'm going to just order food and you'll eat whatever. And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't really just eat whatever. So, all right, fine. So I was hungry enough that it didn't matter what it was. But the minute that I had this beet hummus, I could not stop eating it. So now I crave it and it doesn't matter. Like every day I come back from an excursion, I get my beet hummus. If I have a Rockstar Suite, it is waiting in my Rockstar Suite. If I don't have a Rockstar Suite, then I march my little butt down to the dock house and I get myself some beet hummus. The other thing that I love down there is there's this lemon pudding curd, something like that, and they give you the shortbread that you dip. It's like a dessert, so that's down there too. That's phenomenal. And they just had chocolate hummus as well, and I don't know that that's always a thing. I feel like it's hit or miss, I have to be honest, but I do love the chocolate hummus too. As you can tell, I might have a slight sweet tooth that I have to curb every now and then. So that is the dock that I love. The drinks are great. My favorite drink there is the grapevine. Oh my goodness, it's so good. The grapevine's really good. There's another one that I actually like too, but the grapevine's my all-time favorite there at the dock house, or the dock house and the dock actually. The other quick service place is the pizza place. This is my favorite place to frequent after the manor. We actually have a hard stop where we all look at each other and have a massive freak out and go like this. Even though I don't ever wear a watch, I probably whip out my phone, or I just hope somebody else looks at the time and go, what time is it? Because the pizza place closes at 1 a.m. 2 a.m. 2 a.m. So it closes at 2 a.m. So we look at each other around 1 or 1:30 and all have a massive freak out that we've missed the pizza. And thankfully we haven't. So we usually run up to pizza. So the pizza is, I think, the best at sea. Although I do know that MSC has some really good pizza because I've had it myself. I do think they're just a tiny bit different. But I do love their pizza. Their little personal size pizza. It's so good. 4 slices, ding, ding. They just slice it up and then they give it to you. You can either put it in a box to go or have it right there and, bother the wait staff because I'm sure they're ready to go home and we're loud and obnoxious and drunk by the time we get there. So that's when I eat the pizza. But I usually just am plain Jane. Depending on the night, I have either pepperoni or cheese. But my fellow sailors usually get pretty fly for a white pie. So that seems to be one of the number one pies that people order. They do have salads there, which to-go salads that you can grab. They usually and used to have ranch all the time, but that seems to be like once they sell it out, they don't go get more. So don't count on ranch when you go to eat your pizza because that's not there at 2 a.m. anymore. It used to be, but it's not. And they have beer and wine, and that's really it. Anything that's in a can is also in there. So they have sodas. You can get soda there. You can get beer and wine, I think, in the can. And then they have the salads to go. And they also have a charcuterie board, I think, there in the little boxes. So that's the pizza joint. I love it. It has a beautiful outdoor area that tends to close early. So don't think that you're going to sit out there and eat your pizza like you used to back in the day. So if you have always been sailing Virgin since day one like me, you will know that it was open for the longest time. That's not the case anymore. They shut the outside and you're not allowed to sit out there if it's very late. But you can during the day and at normal business hours. Apparently not after 1 or somewhere around 2. So that's not available anymore. But the pizza is phenomenal. Don't miss it because it's so, so, so good. The social club, super, super fun. That's also on deck 7. Everything that I've actually told you right now is all on deck 7. The social club is so much fun. That's where you find the free arcade, all the games, the air hockey, the shuffleboard. Although I don't know that there's shuffleboard. I can't remember. I think they pulled it from some of the other the ships. I'm trying to remember that, but I think they did. And then you have air hockey and all that, and the free arcade. At the social club, you have snacks. So there's a lot of sweets there. So if you don't want to go up to the sweet shop that I'm calling the sweet shop, and I don't know if that's the actual name, they do have sweets down there at the social club. So they have candy. There's this mocha fudge that everybody loves. There's these, the marshmallows with the sprinkles on them. Those are delicious. They also have cake pops. And then, what else? Oh, Rice Krispie treats. That's right. But I actually think they're Fruity Pebble treats, aren't they? Yeah, they're Fruity Pebble treats. They call them something else, obviously. And then they have like little bark bites that have like nuts and stuff like that. And so there's probably more than just that, but that gives you an idea of what's there. They also have Swedish fish sometimes, gummy bears and gummy worms. And just recently they had candy corn, which was super fun. They had that for Halloween. So they had those in jars and they'll just scoop it in a bag for you and take it with you. They also have popcorn there that is phenomenal, fresh made. Can't tell you the amount of popcorn that I've shoveled in. It is so good. And they also have hot dogs and pretzels and chicken wings there. So there's a bunch of different things. You also can get boozy floats, not milkshakes. I think the milkshakes are on a different ship, not Scarlet. So know that. But you can get all of that stuff there. Like it's all your junk food-ish. Your like bar food slash, I don't know, watching the game food, all that stuff you find there at the social club, which kind of makes sense. Honestly, it all fits. Then the Sun Club Cafe is up by the pool. That is, okay, I always say this wrong. I think it's Poke Bowls, but I don't think it is. Isn't it Poke Bowls? Is it Poke? Am I right? Okay, I feel like I heard somebody say something else one time. Okay, so it's like Poke Bowls, right? So rice, there is mostly, I think, tuna and salmon in that you put in the bowls and whatnot. But I do know that if you're not a fish eater, there is chicken because I have ordered it, and it's actually really good. So that's really good and healthy up there. It's actually on deck 16 near Richard's Rooftop, and they do serve that to Richard's Rooftop. So if you're in Richard's Rooftop, they will go get you one of those bowls and bring it into you. The Coffee Grounds is, I just called it the Coffee Grounds, but it's actually called the Grounds Club. There's one on deck 7. And that's obviously where you get your fancy coffee. You can put alcohol in your fancy coffee if you want. That is available there. And they also have sweet treats there. So they have chocolate croissants and cookies. They had sugar cookies just recently, which was super fun. And I'm trying to think, chocolate chip cookies and muffins and that kind of thing. So you can get all of that there on deck 7 as well. And then the final one that I actually happen to love the name of, Lick Me Till Ice Scream, because I think it is so creative and innovative and obviously cheeky, and I just love it, where you get all of your phenomenal ice cream. So Lick Me Till Ice Cream is open, actually it's open a lot, honestly. I don't know what the exact hours are, but it's open a long time. So make sure you just pop by and get some ice cream. As of recently, they had a really cool ice cream called Blood and Guts or something like that. It was actually, because it was for Halloween, but it was cookies and cream. So it was really cute how they did that. And people love it. So it's good. That's also on deck 7. It's actually right next to the pizza. So it's a good, cool thing to, like, have some pizza and then have some ice cream and then, go have fun and then have a drink. So those are your quick service kind of areas that you can eat. I'm sure I'm missing something. Honestly, I feel like I'm missing something, but maybe I'm not. Everywhere. Yeah, there's grab and go stuff like almost everywhere that you go. There's this really cool grab and go section right outside of the dock. When you come in from the dock into the dock house, there's this little refrigerated area that has a bunch of grab and go stuff. And apparently I have yet to try it, which I keep promising my followers that I will. There is a mousse, like a chocolate mousse there in a cup that is supposed to be phenomenal. And I have actually taken it and brought it back and stuck it in my fridge, but it's never made it inside my body. I have not eaten it. So, but know that you can grab all these things. You will have a fridge in your room and you can grab all these grab and go things for like late night snacks if you need them. So like you can grab a charcuterie board, shove it in your fridge and have it for later, which is nice. You can grab all the ranch like I do. I literally walk by this little refrigerator that I just told you about and I grab all the ranch and I just keep grabbing it. And I hide it in my room for when it's time for me to need ranch. That's what I do. Little secrets by Samantha, my craziness. So you can have all that stuff in your room instead of ordering Ship Eats, because that brings us to Ship Eats. Ship Eats is room service in the room, and it's phenomenal. It's super cool, innovative. They just did an amazing job with it. It comes in this bag, which you would be like, wait, what is this? And why is this bag here? But it's literally comes in this bag, and you open up the bag, and out comes all your room service. And it's in these round dishes that, they have, containers and whatnot and everything in it. And it goes in the bag, and they hand it to you, and they're like, here's your room service in this bag. It's really cool. They do a really good job. But there's really good stuff in Ship Eats. You can get sweets. You can get alcohol, you can get cheeseburger, you can get pasta, you can get chicken noodle soup. I do remember reading that just recently. All kinds of crazy things on there. Usually I just order breakfast on Ship Eats. I don't know that I've actually ordered food on Ship Eats. I've only had my Rockstar agent get me food rather than ordering it on Ship Eats. But yeah, I've never done. I'm sure it's great, honestly. But it does take a while. Ship Eats originally was intended to find you anywhere on the ship, but I think they've since canceled that and only put it towards your room, because I've never seen anyone else have it delivered anywhere recently. But back in the day, the original plan was that if you were sitting at the dock, you could just order Ship Eats and it'd come to you right there at the dock. Or if you were at the pool, you just order Ship Eats and it'd show up at your spot at the pool. But that, I think, has gone away. So it does come to your room. I would allow yourself about 40 minutes. Even in the morning, it's 40 minutes. I feel like it's the same, in the afternoon, about 40 minutes for Ship Eats. So just know that you're not getting it like super fast. It does cost if you're not in a Rockstar room. If you're in a Rockstar room, it's free. If you're not, it costs $7 right now. If you order alcohol, you'll get it for free. Well, basically it'll come off your bar tab. They'll charge you the alcohol and they don't charge you a fee. So they don't charge you that $7 room service fee. So I'm going to say that one more time just so that everyone understands it. The fee is usually $7, but if you order alcohol and you have a bar tab, it'll just come off of that. So, if you order a beer, anything, mimosa, whatever it may be, that'll come off your bar tab and then they don't charge you the $7 fee. So, or you stay in a Rockstar room and it's free. So that's how Ship Eats works. I love it. It's great. All right, so let's talk about main dining because it's the best. And I know I mentioned that earlier, but it really is. So the Wake, like I said earlier, is probably my favorite restaurant right now. It is basically steak and seafood. It is on deck 6, but you have to get there from deck 7. So know that, make sure you go through the social club, keep walking, and you'll hit it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has this kind of wraparound staircase. It doesn't wrap around too much, but it does have this kind of wraparound staircase that you go down to the restaurant. And there's a beautiful chandelier that's in the middle. There's a grand piano that I've never heard anybody play, which would be amazing if they did, because, with some alcohol, I might actually join in and sing. Who knows? So it's probably better that they don't play. And then you go down and there's just beautiful windows out the back. And obviously that's why it's called the Wake, right? Because you can see the wake of the ship. So if you're lucky enough, you get a seat by those windows. If not, it's still really very, very gorgeously decorated. It's a little bit more elegant than the other restaurants. So it does have a bit of an elegant feel to it. And like I said, it's steak and seafood. So I usually order the filet. As I said before, I get the corn. The corn custard is phenomenal. They also have a really good wedge salad that's phenomenal. And the dessert, it's probably my favorite dessert on board, is the lemon cheesecake. It's like a deconstructed cheesecake. And it comes in this ball that looks like a lemon. It's got a hard shell around it. And then it has little breadcrumbs on the side. And the inside is obviously soft and, the cheesecake material. Or substance, I should say. And when you crack into it, it breaks open almost like it's like a white chocolate sort of, but it's not. I mean, it could be. I don't know. What the heck do I know? But it's phenomenal. Get the lemon cheesecake. I actually crave it. Can't wait to have it again next week. I'm very excited. And that probably is my all-time favorite dessert. And honestly, I know I keep talking about lemon drops. Lemon isn't like my favorite thing on the planet. I don't think I'd order a lemonade just to order a lemonade. So it's not like I love lemonade, or lemons, I should say, but this dessert's just phenomenal. So I'm not a seafood person, as I've mentioned before, but this is where you'll get your seafood. So they do have a seafood tower that is extra. They have a petite and a large one. They range from $45, I want to say, to 60 something, 69 maybe, somewhere in that range. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on those prices. They could obviously change, but it gives you an idea of what they were when I saw it. And then you can also order the tomahawk steak. So that's extra. The tomahawk steak, I want to say, is in the $60 to $80 range. Again, gosh, I don't want to rip on the steak, but I've had it twice now. And I got to be honest, I don't love the tomahawk steak. And I feel bad saying that because I feel like I should love the tomahawk steak, but I don't love it. Oh, so, if you love tomahawk steak, it might be amazing for you. I like a very soft steak, something that melts in your mouth, and every single filet that I've had there has melted in my mouth. Like I've needed a butter knife to cut it. It's unbelievable. Almost like stew, which obviously you don't want to compare the two because the beef are completely different, but it has that sort of feel where it literally it's great. I can't say enough good things about it. So hopefully after me saying how great it is, I don't have a bad filet mignon next time I go back. But hopefully that's the case. So that's my favorite restaurant at the moment. Again, I'll be on back to back for the first time in a couple weeks. So we'll see if that changes because, I'm a little crazy. That's for sure. So Razzle Dazzle is another restaurant that is the vegan forward that I feel like everyone's kind of afraid of. It's had a revamp since the beginning. It used to be my favorite menu. If you listen to my podcast, I'm sure you've heard me talk about it constantly. I do wish that they hadn't gotten rid of the menu, the old menu, or kept aspects of it. Of course, the aspects that I liked, but they changed it because I think what was happening was people were not wanting to visit it, Razzle Dazzle, because they thought it was very vegan, or I should say vegan in general, and that they weren't going to find anything to eat there, which was not the case. There was always a naughty menu there, which is what they call it, where they had meats and whatnot. So, but it was definitely vegan forward was the wording that they used. And, but there was definitely things for, people that, eat meat and love their meat, the naughty menu. So now, for the sake of obviously, let's talk about what it is now. I think it has a good mix. I don't love it, but it's good because the food is so different. And if you're a foodie, you're still going to love this place. Whether you are a veggie or not, you're still going to love it because it just has some great things. The green goddess salad is a great, great salad. I love the hot cauliflower, and I'm sure that's not the name of it, but it's Nashville hot cauliflower. I love those two things. And they also have the pork belly there, which is phenomenal. So I love the pork belly. The other thing that they have that's really cool is beet pierogies. I wanted to love them, and I want to try them again because I think I'm trying to replace the squash ravioli with something, and I want it to be these beet pierogies, but I still haven't fallen in love with them. But I will say at this restaurant, the carrots are phenomenal. There is an actual dish called carrots. I don't know. It could have a full name. Does it have a full name? I'm not sure. Oh, I don't think so. We think it's just called carrots. And it is so cool. It comes out with this frothy stuff on the side. Don't know what it is. Don't care. Don't want to know. And underneath it has like a pellet, almost rice/pasta. And then these long carrots obviously on it. And it's phenomenal. So if you like carrots, try it. Don't let it scare you, because if you like carrots, go for it. It's actually really, really good. They have fried chicken there, which is really good. They used to have on the secret menu, they used to have a steak, but that is long gone now, and it's now replaced with a burger. So they do have a secret menu, and that secret menu is a burger, but a very souped up bougie burger. So know that you're not just getting your random cheeseburger. It's serious. It's a serious burger for serious burger people. So that's kind of, let me talk about dessert. Dessert is, they have a creme brulee. They have the s'mores dish. And I want to say is this where the bread pudding is? Or did I miss the bread? Oh, the rum cake. The rum cake is there. I think I missed the bread pudding at the wake. Is that at the wake? Oh, the bread pudding's at the wake. Shoot, I don't remember. Just if you see bread pudding, get it. It's really, really good. I don't remember where it's at. But the rum cake is there. So those happen to be everybody's favorites in dessert-wise. And I kind of named a few favorites. There's also a lamb there at Razzle Dazzle that's supposed to be really good. I did not have it there, but it is supposed to be really, really good. So yeah, not as vegan forward anymore. A little bit of both. A lot more naughty than there was before, and definitely still some good vegan. But I will tell you that if you're having an issue, I'll mention it again because I think I mentioned it earlier in the podcast. If you're having an issue with dining, you're going to get in here. So just go, show up, and say, hey, we want to eat, and they'll feed you. I'll tell you that much, because it is big. The tables are long. It does fit. This is a good restaurant for a big group because the tables are long. They're very long tables, and you may be sitting at a table with someone that you don't know, but they're not going to be like right directly next to you. They'll be, a few down, but you will if you get seated at that table with just a couple of you, you will be seated with somebody else. So that's Razzle Dazzle. Pink Agave, which is around the corner from Razzle Dazzle, is elevated Mexican food. So you're not going to find your average taco there. There are tacos, but they're not actual tacos. You have to actually make it yourself. They will give you the tortillas for it, and then you kind of make it yourself. But there's no fixins for it. You're kind of just really just making a taco with some meat in it. So no, that is not normal Mexican food. But with that being said, it's phenomenal. It was one of my favorite restaurants back in the day. Not that it's lost, any of my love. I think I just am falling in love with different things more than when I go on board. But this restaurant actually won an award. So Pink Agave won an award for best restaurant at sea. By I probably shouldn't quote it, but I want to say it's Travel Weekly. But don't quote me on that. But they did win an award for best restaurant at sea. And like I mentioned, it's elevated Mexican. My favorite dishes are the corn. You guessed it, the corn. Get the corn. The guacamole, the hubs, and a bunch of others love the tuna and avocado. There's a tuna avocado dish that is apparently out of this world. It looks phenomenal. I'm trying to think what else that we get for appetizer. The chicken enchiladas is the next course. And then I think also the next course is the potatoes, but I'm not sure. The potato chorizo. Oh my goodness. I've fallen in love with that. That's new. That's like, I have to get it every time now. So get the potatoes with the chorizo. And then the chicken enchiladas is the next course. I think the potatoes are on the next course as well. I'm trying to think what else is on there. And then the meal that I usually get that I just started to fall in love with was the duck. Don't miss the duck. If you like duck, it's actually really, really, really good. And if you don't like duck, try it anyways. It doesn't cost you anything. It's actually free. So try it because it's really, really good. And I get the pork, and then the steak is good there too. But I very rarely get the steak. So I mostly stick with the pork because by the time I get to the pork, I'm going to be honest, I'm full. I don't need any more food. So I usually have a couple pieces of duck and then some pork with a little tortilla, and I'm good to go. And then dessert there, you can't miss the chocolate taco. Don't miss the chocolate taco. It's so good. No, is this where the bread pudding is? I'm like, wait a minute, where is this bread pudding? I'm having like flashbacks of like us. Yes, it's at Pink Agave. Okay, we figured it out. Pink Agave bread pudding. So make sure that you get the bread pudding and the chocolate taco at Pink Agave. Those are the two best, in my opinion, desserts. So I love Pink Agave, like I said. They also do this really cool thing at night where they call Pink Agave After Dark, or maybe it's After Dark Pink Agave. Either way, it's After Dark something. And the DJ comes in, one of the resident DJs will come in, and they turn the place into a club. I have to be honest that if you want to have a conversation, if you're looking to, to have like get married or like, propose to your girlfriend during that time, don't do it at After Dark because she's not going to hear you or he's not going to hear you. One of the two. So know that. Don't do that during that time. Or don't try to have a serious conversation because it's very loud. But it's super fun. So if you're in the mood for partying or whatnot, go in After Dark because the music's really, really good and is a good time. And get some shots. Not the one that I got last time. Although you should get the one that I got last time because it was so good. Okay, moving on to Gunbae, which is what you should do when you say it because you should always yell it, Gunbae, because it is the Korean barbecue. It's up top behind the Galley. So if you can't find it, that's where it's at. You can see it during the day all closed up, but it truly is a Korean barbecue. So your table is a nice round booth table with a barbecue in the middle. Originally, I thought we were going to get to barbecue our own things, but actually the server comes over and does the barbecuing for you. So you don't touch the meat. Nobody touches the meat. They do, strangely enough. So, and they'll bring you as much as you want. I do think the fun of the restaurant when I go to a normal Korean barbecue, I should say not normal, but on land, is cooking it yourself. I think that's part of the fun. But I think, and this is just my guess, no one's told me this, I think the reason why they do it is to make sure that it keeps moving. No one's sitting there too long. That's just my guess, but there could be more to it, I'm sure. So this is very, very authentic. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And one of the reasons why I probably don't like it is it's super authentic. So they bring you kimchi, they bring you all these things that like I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I know those of you that do know me and follow me, I do have a very kid-friendly palate. I like a good chicken fingers and French fries and cheeseburgers and French fries. But I feel like Virgin has actually broadened my palate a little bit more, or widened my palate, however you want to call it, made me look outside the box, whatever you want to say. I do feel like Virgin has done that for me, where I have, now tried new things. But Gunbae is still not my favorite, but I will tell you, I have enjoyed it every time I've gone. It's super fun. But they do bring you really, really authentic appetizers. And then they bring out all the different meats. They do grill veggies for you. They'll grill seafood for you, all of that. And it kind of goes around and they give you a little bit of each. They give you one. I feel like I ask for that. I usually ask for the steamed rice because I like mine with rice. And they'll bring me out a bowl of steamed rice. But then I also feel like they gave it to you too. But now I'm not remembering because we don't go as much. But I am going in these next 2 weeks so that I can experience Gunbae again and see what's changed. Because my favorite thing at Gunbae is not even what they cook on the barbecue. It's the spicy chicken that they bring out as an appetizer. It's basically a fried chicken with a very spicy sauce on top of it. And it is phenomenal. So I know I've told this story before, but one time when we couldn't leave, or we didn't want to leave the Rockstar room, we had Matthew, our roadie, go get us just the chicken and white rice from Gunbae, and that is what we ate in the room, was chicken and white rice. So it was so good. Very spicy though. You need the white rice, and probably something else because it's super spicy, and but it's really, really good. So usually that's what I fill up on because I don't love that meal, but that's just me. It doesn't mean it's not good. It's just how I like things. The dessert is ice cream, if I remember correctly. And I don't remember eating that either because it is like green tea ice cream and, very traditional to what the Korean barbecue is. And I just don't like that. So I think I stopped by the sweet shop on my way out and probably grabbed a chocolate chip cookie. So that's what I had. But please don't miss Gunbae, because the fun of Gunbae is, don't miss it because of me. I know that this is just me and how I am, but it is really fun. So you will, if you're a small party, you will sit with other people. Know that. So if there's 2 of you, you will not be sitting by yourself. If you don't like that, don't go to Gunbae. Okay. If there's 4 of you, you probably will be sitting with somebody else. You might get lucky and have the table to yourself, but chances are you're probably going to get another table of 2 or a party of 2, which makes it fun, I will be honest, because they do drinking games. So if you are a drinker, they give you shochu. They give you shots of shochu. Shochu? Yeah, shochu. I'm pretty sure. And you play drinking games, and it's super, super fun. And there's a lot of yelling and screaming and good times and whatnot. So you play a bunch of different drinking games and eat and have a good time. So, I mean, traditionally, you should do Gunbae and then go straight to the karaoke downstairs. But you'd have to plan that out. So know that that's a good way to do it. So Gunbae, then karaoke downstairs on deck 7. But you have to plan that ahead of time, meaning you have to pick your time to do karaoke ahead of time. So that would be the ultimate evening out. One of my other favorites is Extra Virgin, which I affectionately call EV. That is your Italian restaurant. I'm sure you figured that out from the Extra Virgin portion of it. But I do love the name. I think it's cheeky, fun, and quite the play, obviously, on Virgin Voyages. But the Italian restaurant is so good. Honestly, you can't go wrong there. Just order it all. I mean, order everything. My favorite is the deep fried artichoke, the meatballs for an appetizer. They do have, oh my gosh, what is it? The meat when it's I can't think of the name of the meat when it's not cooked. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. But it's the meat that's not cooked. They bring that out as well. They also have a charcuterie board that they'll bring out. And I'm trying to think what else they have for appetizers. Oh, they have fried calamari. So all of that are great appetizers. And then they also have phenomenal pasta dishes. So my favorite is the carbonara and the oxtail. Oh, the oxtail is so good. I love it so much, but the carbonara as well. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Make sure you get those. And I know I said this on another podcast, but one time they made me a really cool dish where it was like a vodka sauce with the carbonara and their red sauce and meatballs. So that was fun. I'm trying to think what else. They also have a tagliatelle, I think it is, with meat sauce on it. That's pretty popular. And then they have the main course, which is they have steak, a really good steak. They have a chicken. They have a polenta. Polenta? No, not polenta. Yeah, polenta. But they actually call it artichokes. Don't be confused by the fact that you think when you read this on the menu, if you are a veggie, when you read this and it says artichokes on it, you're not getting artichokes. It's mostly polenta with like a few artichokes on it. Maybe they've mixed the artichokes in, but when you read it, it reads as the fact that you're getting like this bowl of artichokes with almost like what, like crispy artichokes that you see, that is like it's like a side dish somewhere. That's what it seems like you're getting, but that is not at all what you're getting. So know that. But if you like polenta and you like artichokes, phenomenal dish. I'm trying to think what else I missed on there. Usually I don't make it to the main course because I'm good after the pasta. I just want all the pasta and just call it a day. The dessert there, what do I get for dessert? Do I even make it to dessert? Oh, yes. Oh, he's right. Yes. The gelato cart is my favorite. So the gelato cart comes around and they'll make you, they'll tell you the two different types. They have vanilla, I think, and I want to say a whiskey chocolate gelato. And then you can put toppings on it, and they scoop the toppings on and they'll put on a little espresso coffee on top of it. It's so good. That, and then they also have the fried dough balls that I really like. But they have other desserts. When I'm telling you guys all this, no, there's other things. I'm just giving you my favorites. These are not just the couple things that they serve. And like I said before, everything's super fresh. So the pasta comes out piping hot. It's so good. But get the oxtail. I'm telling you, don't miss the oxtail. Josh, what do you think of the oxtail? He said it was all right. You know why? Because he hasn't gotten there yet, but he will. So Josh and I have the same like kid-friendly palate. He's over there giggling because it's 100% true that as he gets older, he's going to think to himself, oh my gosh, she was right. The oxtail is now better. He's going to try it again next time. I'm going to make him. I'm going to watch this time. Usually I'm too drunk to watch, but I'm going to watch. So that is Evie. Evie is one of the most popular restaurants. That and Pink Agave are the two most popular restaurants. They are the hardest to get into. Honestly, sometimes you cannot even get a reservation into Pink Agave. But like I said, go late at night and walk in and see what you can do. But honestly, when we've walked out at like 9 o'clock, it's been empty and they'll take you. So go if you can't get in. The final sit-down restaurant is the Test Kitchen. That's how I feel about it. No, honestly, it is so innovative, so different, so cool, so experimental is what they call it. An explosion of senses, honestly, because it's literally everything you can possibly imagine. It looks like a laboratory when you walk in. They're all wearing white lab coats. They always usually have this really cool thing on the side. They hand you this drink when you walk in. It's non-alcoholic. But I think it's the same drink every time. It's like a rose water of some sort, but not even a water. I want to say it's like a wine-ish, juicy-ish dish, but not alcohol. So it looks like that. It's dark and red. Josh, have you eaten there? No, he hasn't. I haven't taken him to Test Kitchen yet. We got to get on that. Probably because he wouldn't survive, just like I don't. So the two of us would be like kicking each other under the table. Like, oh God, are you eating this? Oh, I'm not eating it. So anyways, Test Kitchen is a laboratory. So basically what happens is the menu comes and there's two different menus, and on the menu is one word. So it'll say things like the very, very first menu that they had, the first thing was mushrooms. That's it. That's all you know. So if you like mushrooms, then great, you're going to love this dish. But if you don't like mushrooms, you're out. There's nothing. That's it. But they do have options. So if you're vegan and you don't want to have the options that are on there, they do have options for you. If you're allergic to shellfish like I am, they have options. So there are definitely options, but not many. Just know it's this or that. That's it. So it's not a restaurant where you've got a whole menu, of things to choose from. It's basically this is what it is or that. So But it's super fun. They do have a pairing that they do with wine and cocktails, and that is really, really good. And I highly suggest it. If you like to drink, the cocktails are super fun. I will tell you, I didn't love all of them because I'm not a huge bourbon fan or whiskey, and some of them had that, which is totally fine. It was fun to try. Yeah, it's great. You should definitely do that, and it will cost you extra for that. I don't think there's anything else that's extra other than the cocktails. I don't think anything else is extra. Everything else is included. So, like I said, one word. So mushrooms, scallops, beef or venison, I think is on that same menu. And you just go down and they just keep bringing it out. And it's very, very innovative. So the mushroom is actually shaped like a mushroom, but it's actually like a pate in a way. Is pate, you know, I think about it, is pate an actual thing, or is it actual like the way you make something? I wonder. That's the part that I don't know. Again, remember chicken fingers and french fries. So it's like it has a substance, not creamy, but they give you these little chips to kind of dip in it, and it's really, really good. It did not start out with the chips. They just wanted you to kind of eat it like a mousse. That's probably the substance that I want to say it is. It's like a mousse. Shaped like a mushroom, really, really cute, honestly. And then now they're giving these little chips that you kind of dip in it. And I want to say chips. They're probably bread chips, honestly. And then it just goes from there. It's 100%. If you are a foodie, do not miss this restaurant. Go both times. Get both menus. You can go both times. You just have to ask, honestly. Technically, you're not supposed to eat. If you're on a shorter sailing, you're only supposed to eat at each restaurant once. But I'm willing to bet that if you asked and just said nicely, hey, can we come in and eat, the second menu? We really want to try it. I'm sure they'll let you. I've had the steak. I think it's filet, honestly. I can't remember. No, tenderloin. That's what it is. The tenderloin is phenomenal. They actually put this piece of chocolate on it and then pour an au jus of sorts on it, and it melts the chocolate on it, and it's phenomenal. I never thought that I'd like chocolate and steak, but I gotta be honest, love me some steak, love me some chocolate, put it together. It was great. I loved it. Who knew? But yeah, so definitely try it. It's different, like I said, but I wouldn't shy away from it. I would prepare that possibly you might need to eat afterwards. We say this all the time. Kelly and I say that I have to eat afterwards because I do skip a few things. There is I don't know the name of the dish, but I want to say it's either egg or pea or something like that. Because there's peas in it, there's an egg that's barely cooked, and some caviar on top of it. I don't know what it's actually called, but what it's labeled on the menu. Actually, I think it's peas. I think it's mushroom, peas, and then something else after that. But anyways, I skipped that one because it's a lot of things that I wouldn't eat, but I do eat some of the peas out of it. So definitely I'm hungry afterwards. Kelly, not as much because she's good. She's a more adventurous eater than I am. And so, yeah, we usually go to eat afterwards. She'll usually take me somewhere. I'll be like, let's go to Pink Agave or let's go to Evie. So back in the day, you were able to just go and sit down in the bar and just eat right there at the bar. And that's what we would do. We'd go and have like maybe some appetizers after Test Kitchen and go sit at the bar, chat with the bartender and eat some appetizers is how we would usually do it. But that's no longer allowed, just so you know. And you have to actually sit down at a restaurant or sit down at the table. So yeah, go to Test Kitchen. Don't miss it. It's definitely worth a shot, definitely worth a try to see if it's something that you would like. And then, go have pizza afterwards or go up to the Galley if it didn't fill you up and you're kind of like, this is what wasn't for me. It's Instagram worthy. You're going to get more really cool pictures than you've ever had about food in your life, especially even if you're not an Instagram person, you're still going to get the coolest pictures you've ever had in your life. You're going to show your friends and they're going to be like, where was this? And you're going to be like, at sea on Virgin Voyages. And they're like, no way, because it's unbelievable that they do this at sea. So, like I said, don't miss it. So yeah, let me know what you think about it because I'm indifferent towards it, but I do like to go. So we are going to actually go in these next 2 weeks. I'm excited to go back again because it's been a while since I've been there. So we're going to do Gunbae and Test Kitchen because we don't normally go there. So maybe they'll make their way up the list of my favorite restaurant. But as of now, as I sit here and talk to you, I don't think anything's knocking the wake off. I don't know why, but it feels like it's my favorite still. So we'll see what happens after these 2 weeks at sea that I'm about to spend. I'm actually really excited. I know I keep mentioning this, to do a back-to-back. It'll be my first time that I am experiencing a back-to-back. And it'll be interesting to see how it all works. I always tell my clients how it works, but I've actually never really experienced it. So I'm excited to try it. So that is food, glorious food. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I made you hungry. I hope I made you want to get on board Virgin and try all this lovely, phenomenal, wonderful food. Because it really is, like I mentioned earlier, the best at sea. Honestly, they did a really good job. So hopefully it never changes. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this and you're excited to eat all the food. All the food. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I can't thank you enough. All of my clients that are listening to this and that have called me and booked with me, and people have said, I listen to your podcast and I call you. You guys have no idea how much that means to me. And I love, love, love hearing it, because I do love talking about Virgin. Obviously, that's clear. And I love helping my clients. So I can't thank you all enough. And so thanks. Keep booking with me. Keep calling me and letting me know. So thank you for everything. And I'll see you next time. You float our boat.